Today, I am going to try and find the legendary fire salamander. Now, unfortunately, they do not exist in the UK, so I am going to have to travel to a different country. But first we have to fly to that country to see the fire salamander, and don't make fun of me for flying Ryanair, it's actually a really good airline, trust me. Anyways, when I went to the airport, then I travelled to my hotel, and this is not the actual footage of the hotel, this is just someone's house, but in that hotel, I did find a brown marmorated shield bug, something along the lines of that, and these are very common, and I'm gonna let you listen on how it sounds like when it's flying. Then later on, we went out to this nature reserve that we were going to, and on the way there I found a clouded yellow, and it is really odd to see them in October, because usually they're found July to September, but it's currently October and they're not found in October, so it was really odd to see one in October. Anyways, I got some pretty terrible footage of one, and they're quite rare in the UK. On the way to the nature reserve, I saw some baby carp in the water. I believe these are common carp, little babies, but I'm not currently sure. The only reason why I think that is because I know that there are carp in these rivers and I've seen them in the main place in Valskem, which is the place I am. But anyways, they were very close to this beautiful waterfall, and I'm not surprised how they are just so chill around us, because they're probably used to seeing people every day. But anyways, they were dangerously close to this absolutely wonderful waterfall, and I don't really see them often in the Czech Republic. But basically, these are, I believe, carp, not sure, but they are very small, I'll tell you that. If they're not carp, I am not surprised, since they are very small, and I'd imagine that carp babies would be a little larger. Then I found a ruby tiger caterpillar walking on the pathway. I didn't want to hold it, since maybe these are stinging hairs. I don't know if they're harmful or they're fine to touch, but I don't know, best not to touch. But finally we are at the nature reserve, and I didn't know the Czech Republic had marshland, but apparently it does, because I went to a nature reserve which I originally thought was a pond, but nope, it is actually a marsh, because I tested it out and there was actually mud and water, which makes it a marsh. Anyways, there were thousands of seagulls everywhere, and lots of fish jumping out of the water, mainly because they didn't want to be eaten by seagulls. But I don't think the seagulls are actually eating the fish. I think the reason why they're jumping out of the water is because this is a fish farm. Where we were, there was a fish farm, and there were so many baby fish. How come there wasn't a single seagull here? Because there were a lifetime supply of fish, baby fish, everywhere, literally covering the water surface everywhere. So this is one of the largest slugs in the Czech Republic, and also in the UK, the leopard slug. These are pretty widespread, and they are absolutely massive. You can tell why they're called leopard slugs, because of their beautiful leopard-like spots, and they are absolutely ginormous slugs. Then we drove to a nature reserve where we believe there's a fire salamander. And the reason why we think this is because we think this is the perfect habitat for them. It's high in the mountains and there are lots and lots of woodland, which is just what they like. And it just rained, which is perfect habitat for them. So we're here to see a fire salamander. This is literally the number one animal I want to see when I go here, because this is basically their breeding season right now, and it is the perfect time to see them. So I hope we can try and find them. But yeah, let's see if we can try and find them. And I didn't waste any time at all getting right into it and looking for fire salamanders. There's so many mosquitoes here, even though it's flipping October. But that looks cool. I think there'd be a lot of fire salamanders there, like in the crevices. Now, they're usually found under logs, but logs are very hard to find here. I haven't found a single one yet. And I am going to prove to you that the Czech natural beauty is probably the best beauty I've ever seen in my life. Look at how bloody beautiful its landscape is. It has mixed woodland. And because it's a mixed woodland, it means that there's both coniferous trees and deciduous trees. So, some trees will be bare, and some trees will still have their leaves on. Usually, October is the best time to see squirrels because they are burying their nuts in the ground, but I haven't found a single squirrel here. This is probably because red squirrels are very shy. Then I found a new insect species. This is a meadow grasshopper, and I have never seen one before. What makes it even more amazing is that it's in October. I didn't know you could find meadow grasshoppers in October. What the hell? Yeah. Me frantically trying to search for a log, as logs are very uncommon here in the Czech Republic for some reason. I have no idea. I haven't found a single one yet, and I would really love to find a fire salamander. That is the thing I want to find the most out of any animal here in the Czech Republic, because you can't find these in the UK, and it's also the best time to see them. So let's hope we can find them. Anyways, here's a Czech rollheek, which can only be found in the Czech Republic, and there are lots of gold crests here. I was trying to film them, but they were very fast and very small, and fun fact, these are the UK's smallest bird. But then, I went to a water fountain, and the first rock I flipped over, there was a fire salamander underneath it.
Bruh.
Not even joking. In this water fountain, there were a pile of rocks, and I took one rock away, and immediately there were like 4 fire salamanders underneath one rock. This is how common they are, and this one was right in my hand. Now, I forgot to mention that I need to do this thing which is very important for when handling amphibians, and you need to get your hands wet before you handle amphibians, because if you have your hands dry when you handle them, like me being stupid and having them when I'm dry, you actually destroy the skin, protective skin on them. I did rinse my hands after, and they are often found high in the mountains, and they are very common, I will tell you that, and I will tell you more information right now.
So this is salamander, the fire salamander, and it is gorgeous. As you can see, it's usually animals with black and yellow patterns are poisonous, and this is no exception. The fire salamander squirt poison from these areas right here, and I've just found one in Valašské Meziříčí in the Czech Republic during October. So these are, even though it may seem very rare, they're actually pretty common throughout most of the Czech Republic and most of Europe. And they are not found in the British Isles at all. They are only found in Europe, in specific parts of Europe. But you can find them in the Czech Republic, France, Germany, and a lot of other places. They are really cute. Look at his face. And they can grow up to 20 centimetres in length, sometimes even 28. So they're not small amphibians at all, but then again they can vary in size. So sometimes they can be as small as a smooth newt, and other times they can grow up to 29 centimetres, and they can get really big other times. So they're very variable animals.
Anyways, that was the end of this mission, and you would not believe how excited when I saw this. How excited I was when I saw this. My hands, I don't know if you could tell, but in the video, they were shivering like crazy. This happens when I find something either rare or something I've never seen before and I've wanted to see. Basically anything I wanted to see. And I don't know why this happens, but it happens very frequently. Basically anytime I find something really cool. And I feel like October is the month of rare and animals I want to see, because I don't know, but I've just been so lucky in October. I mean, I've seen a great crested newt, merveille du jour, and now the fire salamander. Isn't that amazing? Anyways, that was the end of this video, and I hope you have a wonderful week.